हेलो दोस्तों, SKI चैनल में आप सभी का स्वागत है। कृपया मेरे चैनल को लाइक कीजिए, अपने दोस्तों के साथ शेयर कीजिए और हाँ, सब्सक्राइब करना ना भूलें।
Science Class 6 Chapter 14 Water. Suppose for some reason your family gets only one bucket of water every day for a week. Imagine what would happen. Would you be able to cook, clean utensils, wash clothes or bath? What are other activities you would not be able to do? What would happen if we do not have easy access to water for a long period of time? Apart from drinking, there are so many activities for which we use water. Figure 14.1. Do you have any idea about the quantity of water we use in a single day? Uses of water. 14.1. How much water do we use? Activity 1. List all the activities for which you use water in a day. Some activities are listed in table 14.1. Make a similar table in your notebook throughout the day. Measure the amount of water used for. Each activity by you and other family members. You may use a mug or a glass a bucket or any other container to measure the amount of water. Table 14.1. Estimation of the amount of water used by family in a day. Activity: amount of water used. Drinking, brushing, bathing, washing utensils, washing clothes, toilets, cleaning floor, any other total water use in a day by a family. You may have a rough idea as how much water your family uses in a day. Can you estimate the amount of water used by you for personal cleanliness in a day? Using this information, calculate the amount of water needed by your family in a year. Now divide this amount by the number of members of your family. This will give an idea of the amount of water needed by one member of your family in a year. Find the number of people that live in a village or a town. You may now get idea of the amount of the water needed by your village or a town in a year. You have listed a number of activities for which you use water. Do you think our water requirement is limited to activities like this? We use a wheat, rice, pulses, vegetables and many other foods items every day. We know that some of the fibers that we use for making fabric come from plants. Is water not needed to grow this? Can you think of some more use of water? Water used in industries for producing almost all things that we use. So we need water not only for our daily activities but also for producing many things. Figure 14.2, where we get water. Where do you get water that you use? Some of you may say we draw water from the river, spring, pond, well or hand pump. Some other might say we get water from taps. Have you ever wondered where water is in the taps come from? Water that we get from taps is also drawn from the lake or river as well. Figure 14.2. It is then supplied through the network of pipes. Figure 14.2. Water in taps come from rivers, lakes, borewell or taps. Each of may be getting water into our homes in different ways. But finally, all of us get water from same source, such as ponds, lakes, rivers and wells. We have discussed some of these sources of water. Where does the water come from to fill these ponds, lakes, rivers and wells? Do you know that about 2/3 of the Earth's cover is covered with water? Most of this water is in the ocean and seas. Figure 14.3. Oceans cover a major part of the Earth. The water in the oceans and seas has many salts dissolved in it. The water is saline, so it is not fit for the drinking and thus other domestic and agricultural and industrial needs. You might have heard the famous lines of poem. The rhyme of the Asian mariner written by S.T. Coleridge in 1798. Water everywhere, nor any drop to drink. Here the poet has described the flight of sailors on a ship lost in the ocean. Yet oceans play an important role in supplying the water that we use. Do you find the surprising? After all, the water that we use is not salty. Many of live in places far from the oceans. Does the water supply in this place also depend on the oceans? How does the ocean water reach ponds, lakes, rivers, wells? Which supply was water? How come the water from these sources is not saline anymore? That is where the water cycle comes in. Disappearing trick of the water. How many times have you noticed that water spilled in a floor dries up after some time? The water seems to disappear similarly. Some disappear from a bad clothes as they dry up. 14.4. Water from the wet roads, rooftops, or few other places also disappear from the rains. Where does this water go? Figure 14.4. Clothes drying on a cloth line. Do you remember activity 6 in chapter 5, in which water with salt dissolved in it was heated? What did we find? The water evaporated and the salt was left behind. This activity gives us an idea that heating water changes into its vapor. We also realize from the activity that water vapor does not carry away the salt with water vapor also formed, become a part of air and cannot usually be seen. We also found that heating is essential to convert water into its vapor. However, we have seen that water changes into vapor also. Also from fields, roads, rooftops, and other areas. We also discussed in chapter 5 that to obtain salt from the sea is left in the shallow pits to let the water evaporate. From where does the water get the heat it needs to evaporate? Let us find out. Activity 2. Take two similar plates. Place one of them plates in sunlight and keep the other under shade. Now pour equal amounts of water in each of the plates. Figure 14.5. You can use a cap of the bottle to measure the water. Make sure that the water does not spill over. Observe the two plates after every 15 minutes. Does the water seem to disappear from which the plate? Does it disappear first? What is the source of heat from which disappear? During the daytime, the sunlight falls on the water in oceans, rivers, and lakes and ponds. The fields and other land areas also receive sunlight. As a result, water from all these places continuously changes into vapors. However, the salts dissolved in the water are left behind. In activity 2, did you find that water also disappeared from the plate kept in a sunlight? Evaporation of water in a sunlight in shade. In sunlight and shade. In shade, so it could have taken the more time. Does the heat from the sunlight reach here Yes, during the daylight, all the air surrounding us get heated. This warm air provides heat from the evaporation of water in the shade. Thus, evaporation takes place from all open surface of the water. As a result, water vapor gets continuously added to a air. However, evaporation of water is a slow process. That is why we already notice its loss from the bucket full of water. In sunlight, evaporation takes place faster. On heating water on a burner, its evaporation takes place even faster. Is there any other process through which water vapor gets transferred into air? Loss of water by plants. You have learned in chapter 7 that plants need water to grow. The plants uses a part of this water to prepare their foods and some of it in different parts. Remaining part of the water is released by the plants into air as a water vapor through the process of transpiration. Do you remember observing transpiration of water by plants in activity 4 in chapter 7? Water vapor enters the air through the process of evaporation and transpiration. Is it lost forever? Now we get it back again, as we will see. How are clouds formed? Activity 3. Take a glass half filled with water. Wipe the glass from outside with a clean piece of cloth. Add some ice into the water. Wait for 1 or 2 minutes. Observe the changes that take place on the outer surface of the glass. Figure 14.6. From where do you water drops appear on the outer side of the glass? The cold surface of the glass containing iced water cools the air around it, and the water vapor of the air condenses on the surface of the glass. We notice this process of condensation in activity 7 in chapter 5. A drops of water appear on the outer surface of the glass containing water with ice. The process of condensation plays an important role in bringing the water back to the surface of the earth. How does it happen? As we go higher from the surface of the earth, it gets cooler. When the air moves up, it gets cooler and the cooler. At the sufficient height, the air becomes so cool that the water vapor present in it condenses to form tiny drops of water called droplets. It is then tiny droplets that remain floating in the air and appear to us as clouds. Figure 14.7. It so happens that many droplets of water come together to form a large size this is clouds. Large size drops of water. Some drops of the water become so heavy that they begin to fall. These falling water drops are what we call rain. In special condition, it may fall as hail or snow. Thus, water in the form of vapor goes into air by evaporation or transpiration, forms clouds and then come back to the ground as a rain or hail or snow. 14.4 Back to the ocean. What happens to the water that rain and snow bring to different regions of the earth? Almost all land surfaces are above the levels of ocean. Most of the water that falls on the land as rain or snow sooner or later goes back to the ocean. This happens in many ways. The mountain melts into water. This water flows down the mountains in the form of streams and rivers. Some of the water that falls on land as rain also flows in the form of rivers and streams. Most of the rivers covers long distance on land and ultimately fall into a sea or ocean. However, the water of same rivers flow into lakes. Rainwater flows down in the form of the streams and rivers. The rainwater also fill up the lakes and ponds. A part of the rainwater gets absorbed by the ground and seems to disappear in the soil. Some of this water is brought back to the air by the process of evaporation and transpiration. The rest seeps into the ground. Most of this water becomes available to us groundwater. Open wells are fed by groundwater. Groundwater is the source for the many lakes as well. It is also this groundwater which is drawn by the hand pump or a tube well. The more the hand pumps or a tube well that are used in our area, the deeper we need to dig to find this groundwater. The loss in the level of the groundwater due to overuse is worrisome. Paheli wants to share a concern with you. In those areas where the land has little or no vegetation, the rainwater flows away quickly. The following the rainwater also takes top layer of the soil away with it. There are a few areas where most of the land is covered with concrete. This reduces the seepage of water into the ground, which ultimately affects the ability of groundwater. We now know that the water brought back to the surface of the earth by rain, hail, snow goes back to the ocean. Thus, water from the ocean and the surface of the earth goes into air and was vapor, written as rain, hail, or snow. Finally, goes back to the ocean. The circulation of water in this manner is known as water cycle. This circulation is of water between the ocean and the land is continuous process. This maintains the supply of water on land. 14.5 Water if it is rain heavily. Time, duration and amount of water rainfall varies from place to place. In some parts of the world it rains throughout the year, while there are places where it rains only for few days. In our country, the most of the rainfall occurs during the monsoon season. Rains bring relief, especially after hot summer days. The sowing of the many crops depends on the arrival of the monsoon. However, the excess of the rainfall may lead to many problems. 14.10 As seen after heavy rain. This is water cycle. Rain may lead to rise in the level of the water in rivers, lakes and ponds. The water may then spread over large areas, causing floods. The crop fields, forests, villages and cities may get submerged by water. Figure 14.11 In our country, floods cause extensive damage to crops, domestic animals, property and human life. During floods, the animals living in the water also get carried away with the water. They often get trapped on land areas and die when flood water resides. Rain also affects the animals living in the soil. 14.66 What happens if it does not rain for a long period? Can you imagine that what would happen if rain does not in a region for a year or more? The soil continues to lose water by evaporation and transpiration. Since it is not being brought back by rain, the soil becomes dry. The level of the water in ponds and wells of the region goes down and some of them may even dry up. The groundwater may also become scorched. This may lead to drought. In drought condition, it is difficult to get food and fodder. You might have heard from the droughts occurring in some parts of our country or the world. Are you aware of the conditions faced by the people living in these areas? What happens to the animals and the vegetation in this condition? Try and find out about this by talking to your parents and neighbors and by reading about it from the newspaper and magazines. 14.7 How can we conserve water? Only a small fraction of water available on the earth is fit for use of plants, animals and humans. Most of the water is in oceans and cannot be used directly. When the level of the groundwater decreases drastically, this cannot be used anymore. The amount of the water on the earth remains same, but the water available for use is very limited and is decreasing with overuses. The demand of the water is increasing day by day. The number of people using water is increasing with rising population. In many cities, long queues for the collection of water are a common sight. 14.12 Also, more and more water is being used for producing foods and by industry. These factors are leading a queue of collecting water. Shortage of water in many parts of the world Hence, it is important that the water is used carefully. We should take care not to waste water. 14.8 Rainwater harvesting. One way of increasing the availability of water is to collect rainwater and store it for later use. Collecting the rainwater in this way is called rainwater harvesting. The basic idea behind the rainwater harvesting is catch water from it for where it falls. What happens to the rainwater and falls in place they were mostly covered with concrete roads and buildings. It flows into the drains, isn't it? From there, water goes to the rivers and lakes, which could be far away. A lot of effort will then be required to get this water back into our homes, as the water did not seep into the ground. Here are two techniques of rainwater harvesting are discussed. Rooftop rainwater harvesting. In this system, the rainwater is collected from the rooftop to the storage tanks through the pipes. These pipes may contain soil from the roof and need filtering before it is used. Instead of collecting rainwater in the tank, the pipes can go directly into the pit in the ground. This then seeps into the soil to recharge and refill the groundwater. For figure 14.13, a rooftop rainwater harvesting. Another option is to allow water to go into the ground directly from the roadside drains that collect rainwater. Keywords: clouds, condensation, drought, evaporation, flood, groundwater. Hail, ocean, rainwater harvesting, snow, water vapor, water cycle. Water is essential for the life. Water vapor gets added to air by evaporation and transpiration. The water vapor in the air condenses to form tiny droplets of water which appear as a cloud. Many tiny droplets come together and falls down as a rain, snow or fall. Hail. Rain, hail and snow replenish the water in rivers, lakes, ponds, wells and soil. The circulation of water between ocean and the land is known as the water cycle. The excessive rains may cause floods, which lack of it for a long period may cause droughts. The amount of usable water on earth is limited, so it is to be used carefully.